Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.
Live on?
Shalom. Yeah, we live.
Alright, Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all glory, praises, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Alright? Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the brothers that's teaching this truth and sincerity, man.
Is given into the hand of the wicked.
That's right, man. Brother said the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So, the hand is basically used for a direction, right? Control. So you could also read the control of the earth is in the power of the wicked. All right. Give me Revelation 13 and 16. All right.
Revelation 13, you got 16, and it reads, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond.
So remember, the subject is the earth is in control of the wicked. All right. So the same wicked that's in control does what?
And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
All right, so the Heavenly Father now is going to tell you what's going to happen to you if you subscribe, all right, to this man's action. All right, so drop that. Go to version 14 and 9. All right.
Revelation 14 verse 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image.
So the beast here is going into a person, a nation, right? A nation of people. And they're called beasts because what? This laws, statute, and commandment was not given to them. And this was makes us over of the nations. All right, it says in Deuteronomy 4 and 5 that this is what it makes us transcend. This is what keeps us above all the nations. This is why we're not seen as beasts and as the Most High. As the Most High. All right.
If any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh.
So the Most High basically put on a death threat. All right. So to show you this man has no love for you. The Heavenly Father right here has just threatened anyone. You think, brother?
The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without into the cup of his indignation.
And that word indignation is going into a righteous anger. So the Heavenly Father has made a decree that anyone subscribe to this man's teaching, to this man's philosophy as it concerns this mark, the Most High is going to judge you to death. Right? You may put over for death. Back in
Job 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
So the control. So we just expose the wicked intentions. All right? The nation that's under the banner of the wicked, their intention is to have the Most High angry with you. All right? Now, we don't care about you heathens. Moses is angry with the wicked every day, and mainly Esau is the main culprit. But we're talking to our people. We're talking to the hopeful elect that might be still sleeping. The ones that have been waking up, risen up to this truth, they know what the MOTB is. They know how what the Most High stands, like how he views it, and what his judgment will be. So we know what refrain or stay away from so-called white man's advances, right, and its lures of all this thing that this MOTB is going to offer, right? Now you have MasterCard is pushing a thing where they have biometric payments, okay, and it's so good. All you get to wave your hand, right? It's paid for, as if you have the money, right? It's going to work, right? So we don't know what the use of this under the skin MOTB is for like it's gonna be actually a nuisance, man. Right? Some like, hey, man, me, I'm scared of needles. Right? So that'd be one deterrent. If the Most High didn't say what He said, that I'm gonna adhere to, the needles a turn off. It's a no for me.
Shalom.
All right?
He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
So the Most High is being funny, right? He's being facetious, jocular, right? He's saying, if this man, which was exposed at the beginning of this of the sermon, right? It's a sermon, right? Because this is actually a church. Church is a body, all right? And Most High is saying, if the wicked ain't the man I just removed the veil, who is it? All right? Who is the wicked? Who is the man that's putting sugar, right? White sugar, right? That's been stripped of its minerals in kids' food. Who is this man? Who is this man that's saying it's okay to be born a male, right? And at 4 years old, if you decide, right, to not be a male anymore, because you know, and little kids treat them like all the time. There's actually a meme, right, with some cookies, and maybe about $1,000, and the meme was to the 4-year-old, choose one. Guess which one the 4-year-old chose? The cookies. Showing you a 4-year-old's mindset, because anybody would say, you know what, with $1,000, I can buy lots of cookies. Okay? So if your 4-year-old is gonna say, I don't feel like being a boy today, mom, or dad, okay? A conversation should be had, right? Explaining, you can't change this. You are what God made you, okay? But this wicked, all right, the so-called white man, because we're pointing him out, because no other nation is going to other countries and saying what is it they need to do, right, in order to not seem barbaric. They're in the land of Africa, telling their democratic president that people voted for, right, because according to him, majority rules. Not in our society, majority of the rules. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai rules in our society, all right? But he has thing called democracy, where the majority rules and they choose a president. Their president are saying, we're not about that. So he's saying, if you don't do these things, right, woe will be unto you. Because what? This man sees himself as a God. All right? So again, if this man ain't the wicked, then who is? That's what some is saying. If the white man ain't the wicked, who is? All right? The white man also, all right? And hey, let's get it straight. We're not saying all white people are wicked. What we're saying, what the Bible says, if the so-called white man goes back to a man called Esau, which is Edom, yes, they are the wicked. Doesn't matter if he's a bum Edomite or a upper echelon Edomite, elite. Because guess what? If that bum, right, was given the same chances, as long as he's an Edomite, he's going to do what? Wickedly. That's what. Go ahead, brother.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first.
And the fall happened already. All right? So we're going to get to it, but it says that the vision is for an appointed time. Mm-hmm. So one of the vision that was appointed is a falling away of the Israelites. Okay? A time came and went, we didn't know who we were. We were calling ourselves black people. We were calling ourselves Caribbeans. We were calling ourselves Africans. All these bywords. But guess what? We've been made to know the truth of our true lineage, of our true nationality, of who we really are, who our power is. Okay? And we are the Israelites. Read, brother.
That man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
And that sin, right, rhymes with wickedness, man. Right? They go together. Wickedness and sin are a couple. They're in concert. All right? That's why if you want to do good in this system, do some wicked shit. All right? Luke 4:6 says what? Hold on, brother. right? All right? Do some wicked shit in this system. I know. Yeah. All right? Do some wicked shit in this system and watch how you excel. All right? Get an account on Instagram or post some lame shit. Post some stuff with it. You play with your rod or something, and watch what likes you get and followers. You guys.
4 and 5, and the devil taking him up into a high mountain showed unto him all the kingdoms of the moment of time.
So in that moment, the spiritual demon Satan, but the spiritual demon Satan has a counterpart on this earth, and he rules the white man,
right.
the Edomites, okay,
right.
who calls himself white, and he ain't white. All right, look in the mirror, man. You're red, and we're brown people, and you're red people. Just be truthful.
That's
all right?
right.
I ain't saying anything wrong here. Okay, read.
Verse 6, and the devil said unto him, this power will I give thee, and the glory of them that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. If thou therefore wilt worship me, all shall be thine.
So see that? The so-called white man, right? That was the Satan there, but the so-called white man, who is the counterpart of the Satan, he said, if you worship him, if you honor him, he'll give you what you want, right? So that's why anything you see to flourish in this kingdom, they do some foul shit. Foul. Doesn't matter how, right? Doesn't matter how innocent it looks. A daycare, right? You say, oh, it's a little daycare for little kids, whatever. What are they teaching your kids, right? It goes back to LGBT, but it's so innocent. You come with pictures, right, of private parts. That's what you say your kids in school to do, right? Even the churches, right? They got you can color, right, private parts, right, and color two men and men holding hands. All right.
Because just going into what they're doing in the any book that was published before 2008, they're removing it off of the shelves because they want it to be inclusive. And that goes into what Brother Gazak was saying about the whole LGBT, the whole trans movement, because that's what they want to bring in and teach, you know. So I just thought I'd mention that. Because your children are being indoctrinated. It's bad. So going back here is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. And it says here, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High.
Hold on, brother. And that word oppose is just contrary to. It's the word Satan. All right? So this man is contrary to the Heavenly Father. Read.
Okay. And it says here, opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as a power sitteth in the temple of the Most High.
And we know the temple, first and foremost, is the body, right? Your mind. So this is what a white man is after. He's after your mind. That's why the Most High set up prophets, all right, to safeguard you with the truth. All right? This is our safeguard. Because the Bible will succumb to your wickedness, man. All right? Your teachings of evil and lies about how great you are. And you ain't great. The Most High said the so-called white man, woman, and child are base nations, man. They're base. All right? 2 girls can't be married. 2 men can't be married.
Right.
You're going to find acts, right? Yes, you're right. Thumbs down for that. All right? They can't. It's impossible. Go to etymology online, type in marriage. It says union between woman and man.
That's right.
That's changed.
And it says here that as he sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High.
Guess what? It is not in our temple. If it was our temple, guess what? We'd be over there. We'll be right back there, you know, rocking and making a fool of ourselves, man. Looking for a lighter. All right? But in our temple is a Bible. All right? Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah is in our temple. And we're here to declare that and proclaim it in the highways and the byways. I'm talking loud, I know, but the Bible says in Isaiah 58:1, I must cry aloud and spare not. So the hell with your feelings. I want the Most High to stay in heaven and say, that's my boy. right? That's why I'm speaking loud. And men, don't speak soft. Talk about your inside voices. I'm outside. Anyways, go back.
Okay. This is verse 6. I'm sorry, verse 5. Remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time.
That's right.
For the mystery of iniquity doth already.
Ain't a mystery anymore, man. All right? We're exposing you. We're exposing these devils. Right? And we keep pointing at white men, but guess what? We see you Elamites conspiring, you Moabites, so-called Chinese, so-called Syrians. All you nations are against, and we know that. Every single nation have a byword for the so-called blacks and the so-called Indians and the so-called Mexicans, right? You don't speak lofty of us, right? You speak down about us, but it's cool because this is your kingdom. You're thinking our kingdom without. So you guys do what you're supposed to do. Some dumb nigga woman talking about in BC, Coquitlam, it's a city in BC, talking about a sign says whites only. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with a sign in the so-called white? The earth is given in the hands of the wicked. They control it. So what's wrong with a so-called white man putting that sign and saying, I don't want my kids to be your kids?
Exactly. No, what's wrong with it?
You know, but because 4 and 6 says what? My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. If she knew what we know, we say, hey man, that man is in the right spirit. I like people like that.
That's right.
So I know my kids don't go there because he'll hurt my children or my kids. So at least he's warning me, right? Okay. So this dumb stupid black woman is causing a stir, and you have some two-faced email. Oh, that's wrong, and you shouldn't be doing that. And they feel the same way, man.
Yeah, but they were okay with the vaccinated and unvaccinated.
Done. You know. So we're cool with so-called white men putting up signs saying whites only. We're cool with it.
That's right.
We're cool with it.
Separate yourself.
Yeah. Right? Deuteronomy 7 and 6 what? It says what? We are above all people, not beside them,
Exactly.
not below them.
Exactly.
Okay? So if you want to think that's your scripture, you better go right ahead. This is your kingdom.
That's right.
Piss anyways.
That's right.
Some guy was pissing back there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? There's homosexual running around doing all kind of violent acts.
Yeah.
Do what you want, man. Do what you will. It's your kingdom, man.
Verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
That's right. And the spirit must come by way of prophets, man. First and foremost. We're speaking against wickedness. Right? Why is that so wrong? Everyone should be like, yeah, man, them guys are good. Them guys are all right. Them guys saying what I'm thinking. But you know what? They're mad at us. Because we're saying something is wrong when it is. Right? We're supposed to smooth things. That ain't us, man. We're not prophets of glad tidings. Okay? We're prophets right now of doom and gloom.
Right.
That's what we hope for. Every day we get we check the news and we please kill some people, man. You know what I mean? Depopulate. The so-called white want to depopulate. We too.
That's right.
You know what I mean? We want it too.
Righteousness.
God. Right?
Judgment.
Talking about you're making corn, you know, General Mills is making corn to like demasculate the men,
Yep.
right? To cause men to have weak sperm count, low sperm count.
Which they've already done.
God,
That's right.
it's what I'm saying, Kellogg's. What kind of shit
That's
is that,
right.
man? And it's so wicked that he eats it too.
And that same thing that they put in our bodies 2 years ago, well, you people, they said that it's in the animals, and now we're eating those animals
Done.
with that thing in it.
Done. Right? Hey, man, you know, Mag, I was watching Mag the other day. Mag's like, listen, man, you see chickens are something made in labs. And I'm like, what's that talking about, man? He goes, you ever see in the wild a wild chicken? You know what I mean? You know, somebody owns it. Every chicken you see walking around, somebody owns that chicken, right? So it tells you, that, and I show you how to make sure you get the eggs, you put it in a thing, and it hatches. Within 6 weeks, they don't need the head anymore. You get the eggs, and you put it in a machine, and it goes through, and then little yellow chickens comes out. I'm like, damn. All right? Go ahead, brother.
Isaiah 29 verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord.
So death unto you, again, this Bible, man, it's full of death threats. It's a scary book. Talking about it's a good book. The brother says, woe unto them. Destruction. All right? The Most High is sending death threats, and that's what we're supposed to do till the Most High is going to kill your nigga ass and your white ass, man. Right? He's no respecter of person. So if you do wicked shit, the Most High is contrary to your being. Right?
Isaiah 29 verse 15 in the NLT. What sorrow awaited those who try to hide their plans from the Lord, who do their evil deeds in the dark. The Lord can't see us. They say he doesn't know what's going on.
Hey, you know what? You ever try walking around in the dark? Doesn't matter how much you know your house, man. You're very careful because you might bump your toe, right? So this so-called white man is walking around in the dark, not knowing he's gonna stumble, man, right? Because it's a big place, right? And the Most says, woe to you. So guess what? The Most High is setting you up, man. Setting you up for the kill, right? Setting you up for power. You're ruled to life under your rulership, right? You can go in a damn restaurant and buy shrimp and put bacon on your burger. Under your watch. Under your watch. When I was a child, they told me that oxygen is what we're breathing in. Today I Googled it. What are we breathing in? It says 78% nitrogen and 28% oxygen and some other neon and what? So I Google, is nitrogen bad for you? They're saying if you're not wearing the right mask and it can harm your hemoglobin. I'm like, what? At what point did it go from 100% or close up to 100, 28% oxygen? And then he sprays barium and aluminum alongside that. Wow. You see what I'm saying? So again, if this man ain't the wicked, the psalmist, through the Most High saying, then who is?
Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, seeth us.
The Lord seeth you, man. And the Lord's eyes 10 times brighter than the sun. 10,000 times brighter than the sun. All right? So that's who seeth you, man. Right, brother?
And who knoweth us? Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay.
I've seen servants, right, walking and princes and horses as that goes, right?
Yeah.
So that's the one that things upside down. You've seen all these serfs walking around or driving in nice cars, living in nice houses. You know what? You know what? We don't care because this kingdom is shit anyways. You know what I mean? Why have a fat ride, you know, in a shit house? Trump said, "Hey, in a shithole country." Listen, it's a shithole world.
That's right.
That's what, you know, you make it. America ain't no better, man. What you say about America on TV, the nice part, that's all lies. It's only a small section that's so-called nice. The rest of it is dumb. All right, I don't want to do with America. You know, I can't wait for the most light space on fire, man. Turn it all up.
Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For it says, for shall the work say of him that hath made it, he made me not?
Okay, so the brother is in 2 Thessalonians, and the brother's asking the thing. We'll say it. We're gonna try again.
Isaiah 29 verse 16. Surely turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he make me not?
And that's what Esau saying, man. He bring forth this theory, right? Theorize life and harmony came out of a big bang, right? So he's resenting the fact that they're the Most High, right? So again, if this man ain't the wicked, who is? All right, finish that.
He maketh me not, or shall the thing framed of him that framed it, he he had no understanding?
That's right, man. And that's so-called white man, right? But you know what? He's doing what he was made to do. We're just calling him out. We're just saying we know now, right? You can't fool us no more. That's all we're saying. We're not saying what you're doing is outside what's written here. We're saying we know what we're pointing it out. So our people now can say, you know what? Let's move away from this man, right? James 4:8 says, draw near to Yahweh and he will draw near to you. And how do you draw near to the Most High? Through the Bible, right? Apply it to your life. Clean it up. Get baptized, right? Mentally baptized. Change the way you think, all right? Be born again, all right?
So this is back in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. Even this coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
Lying wonders, man. Like, you know, this man have all these gadgets, technocracy, technology, right? I know he can do this from here and press this button, this happens, right? And turn this to that, take this pill and this grows, and take this pill and this doesn't grow, right? That's a lot of wonders, man. Right? That's a lot of miracles. So if you're implanted in the truth, you start like, you know, oh man, you know, this guy's Elon Musk, you know, Bill Gates, wow, you know. But guess what? That's old. That's old stuff, man. Right? We smile at that stuff, right? Because what? We're promised immortality, and with that comes spiritual powers, right? We're gonna be put in a body where we can't go off, we can't sin. You know, glorious that would be. The Most High is not mad at us anymore. He won't kill us anymore, right? We're gonna rule. We're gonna have rule over our children, right? We're not gonna work no more. It's just about bills no more. Seeing your damn devils walking around with a fake smile that you guys have.
Yeah.
You know, all right tonight. We know you don't like us, man. All right, guys. You know? Right? We know.
Right? It says, after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth.
That's right. So you people outside the truth, the Most High never give you. It's a gift, right? The truth is a gift. You can't make yourself understand this. It sounds like blah, 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 blah to you because you're outside. You're not invited to this convocation, man. This great meal. The oil wasn't given. This golden oil. Where are those candlesticks pouring out this golden oil, man? Right? That's parabolic talk for the truth. Okay? Where are those men set up to do that?
Spirituality wasn't given to them at all.
Go ahead.
Nothing. Nothing to do with the Bible, nothing to do with these words. It's not given to none of them. So just going into this is too much for them anyway.
Right.
They only understand carnality.
Alright. Yep.
Job 30:1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock.
So that's Job speaking in the spirit, man. And Job, right, persecuted, that's us in the spirit. And at one point they have us, you know, downtrodden, you know, beaten up, not know who we are. And they're younger than us, man. Not literal, because Esau came out first, but a child, they're childlike, man. They're kids. All right? And that term kids was put into a vocabulary, right? This means a baby goat meant what? For offering, for sacrifice. We're called the sons of Israel, man. That word, when it's the children of Israel, it's sons of Israel. Ban Yashar Allah. We're people over here. We're not kids. We don't have kids. Goats have kids. Damn demons.
Yea, also, pardon me, but like he's also referring to as a Gentile too, because he calls you a kid. Because when you go into the book, I believe Matthew, the Lord said he's going to separate his flock. He's going to separate the sheep from the goats. So the goats, you know, those are the Gentiles.
The spirit right there. come to the Baphomet sign. Let's go. See the
devil, man.
Praise Yahweh, man. You know, the more than just bring them demons on camera too.
Yeah, on camera. Devil's passing through.
Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was cherished.
So whatever it is that they're doing, right? How nice it seems. We're building some new houses, a new school. It's not for us. This is not our rest. Get your mind out of this. You know, like you're here forever. We're transitory, right? Here for a short time, like Abel was, right? This is not our rest, man. Don't put you know your stocks in this kingdom. It's gonna go like a damn Lego set or a sandcastle. You know, make a sandcastle. You have those dads that they're into their kids and made this elaborate thing, and you know, like oh, look what my dad made. And then the way it goes, like see, you know, I got a cup. I put a cup in the sand and there to my son. You understand? I'm making them damn seven-story sandcastle for what? You know? Wait, brother.
For want and famine they were solitary, leading into the wilderness in former time.
So you see the lie they told? They told a lie as if they're always in rulership. They're always so distinguished. The Bible says for want and what?
For want and famine.
That's right, they're hungry. Right? Ribs touching. Right? No shampoo. Right? No Revlon, no Bic. That's hairy. Walking around, scratching their ass, man. Eating lices from the woman's head. Drinking out of their mother's skull. That's your white people. That's your history.
That's right.
That's what they call it dark ages, man. Oh, nothing happened then. No, you guys are in caves.
That's right.
Flintstone, meet the Flintstone. Dabba-dabba-doo. That's you people, man. Telling your history, but in a cartoon.
That's stuff in the background.
Cut.
That's brain.
Cut.
Brain.
Right? That's them, man. They got that thing called I was making fun of rap. Like, we don't support it. No, doesn't matter what it is. Okay? Especially the new stuff. But you guys have a thing called a mosh pit, and they play some kind of I don't know what music is called, a genre is called. But I've seen it, man. You guys are bumping each other, punching girls, kicking, spitting, farting. You know, like you can see straight satanic shit bleeding, right? And you guys pay to get in there and talk about rap is violence. That's violence, man.
Oh, the girl, I don't remember. The guy laid down on stage and she beat on it.
See, right?
Right on stage in front of a whole audience.
And that's how you guys get down. That's your mentality, man. That's why, you know, when you put a sign saying whites only, we say, cool. Good, keep it. I wish I do a whole Toronto like that. We wouldn't care. We like it. I like these brothers. I like how I feel safe. I know that these brothers fear the Most High. I know these brothers think what I think. I don't trust you heathens, man.
That's right.
But that's the reason why violence is in the ghetto. Because they bring their drugs and they bring their guns. Right? That's why the hood is violent.
For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes.
And it wasn't that long ago, okay? So he had this theory of millions of years ago, and cavemen. This is like what? Like I think over 1,000 years ago. No, we were for 1,000 years. So this came far again in the 1400s, right?
Like, and there's still some of them that's basically still hairy.
That's right.
And they have all kind of different wicked, stupid features.
Yeah, they started to clean them up during the family feuds.
Con.
So during the 1100s, 12,
Con.
right? And
Con.
then they started getting up on their feet because they started becoming distinguished because they were great warriors.
That's right.
A lot of them were great warriors, and then they started to get married into the families, and they would get land, they would get titles, and then they took over.
Con.
Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat.
So the Most High had a plan, because this book was written, right, in a way that like prophecy has to be fulfilled, right? This book has a spirit to it, man. Revelation 19:10 says, "Well, Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. Prophecy has a spirit. All right, it's alive." Okay, go ahead, brother.
They were driven forth from among men. He cried after them as after a thief.
That you damn thief! I mean, get out of here! Right? You know, kick him in the ass.
Yeah, and they still brought diseases too.
That's right.
And still is.
Yeah.
Well, right now, if you want some wild shit, let's type in a white girl with a dog. Girl talking about her German Shepherd. He always wants it. You know what I mean? You know, like he doesn't cheat on her. What the fuck? You know, that's what I'm. How'd you know the dog? Like talking about AIDS came from Africa, right? Like some Africans saw a monkey and slept with it. But you guys, we said, and that's a theory. We have a girl saying she fucks her dog. She sleeps with her dog. All right?
You see it in the movies, brother, like Family Guy.
Done.
I mean, Brian. I guess what Brian's doing, he sleeps with her.
They showed it on. I
That's
saw
how they
that
think.
years ago as a young case. Like these guys in Europe were sleeping with a dog. It was like a party.
Done.
And it was actual real dog, man.
Well, it's bestiality, man.
Yeah, bestiality.
Right? And the Bible is against bestiality. In Canada, it's allowed. Type it in, Google it. Is bestiality allowed in Canada?
Yes.
And it says yes. So so-called white men think it's okay to sleep with animals, man. Right? Have sexual intercourse with animals. That's terrible.
That's right.
No wonder this thing about a centurion, you know, you have half a horse, half a man, you know. That's come from some thick thoughts, man. People bring back people. Man and woman bring back people. Two men don't do nothing but cause a muck and stink of the house. Right? Vile acts. Two women do nothing but act lewd. Alright? Two women cannot be together, have sexual relations together. It is wrong according to the Heavenly Father, according to nature.
Right. To dwell in the cliffs of the valley, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they braid under the nettles.
As the elder said, they bray, man. Right? Languages that they pretend is theirs was taught to them. Right? All the languages. They came and they'd be taught to speak again. And they make movies showing they taught us how to speak. Ain't that a bitch? Right? They use their cameras, right, and lights, camera action, and make movies showing us in a deplorable state, right? Busted, how we civilize them. No, we civilize you. And the names we have are our names, man. Not damn slave master, nothing. You guys are the slaves. You guys are the slaves.
That's right.
And then plus we're the real Anglo-Saxons as well. Among the bushes they braid, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men.
That's right. So you see, I said earlier that the so-called white man, woman, and child are a base nation as long as they go back to a man called Esau, Edom in the Bible. All right? They're base, which means they're nothing. They're in a confused state, like a perpetual confused state, man. Dusty, man.
And now am I their song, yea, I am their byword.
So that's us now, the so-called white man, woman, and child, because the children do it too, and the women do it too. And them niggas, you know, them blacks, right? Them Indians, right? Them damn Mexicans coming over into the land, and you know, that guy Little X, Director X, made a series called.
He came to our camp, probably 10 years ago.
Done. It's called Robin Hood. Premiered on Wednesday. So I'm reading the comments, and they're like, cultural appropriation. You know, get your own heroes, because he's using a black girl, which is off. Like, you know, like he's a sold out. He's one of those wokeism, because it wasn't a woman, but he's just trying to fit in, right? Going on to get along, made a woman Robin Hood, right? Save it, Robin the rich for the poor. But Robin Hood was an actual character, but he was an Israelite. All right, and there's nothing new under the sun. We're about taking look when a so-called rapper gets some money. What's he do? Get some chicken, some turkey, and goes around and he tries to hand it out and try to do what he thinks is good, right? But it's showing you he has some kind of character. Like, you know, I know I'm wicked and stink, but you know, I know so and so needs a chicken or a turkey, and I'm gonna try to do something. You know, it's that's his way. Name one time in history or a book where a so-called white man, right, and you say, oh, Jesus, he wasn't white. You hijack that, all right? But where is it in a European guy that you know that goes and rob rich people and give to poor people? I'll wait.
If you watch that series, I think it came out in the 90s with Morgan Freeman, like he depicted more, right? And basically, Robin Hood, I think, was the guy, like, what's his name? Kevin Costner or whatever his name is. Whatever. And basically, like he was an Edomite guy. So the original
Of course.
more.
Okay.
And now I'm at their song, hey, I am their byword. They abhor me, they flee far from me, and spare not to spit in my face.
And remember, there's something mattering. We start off with Job 9:24, saying the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So we're just exposing the wicked, because this is their mindset, right? This is how they are, right? The Most High brought us up on game, okay? You have Nate, the leader of a well-established Israelite group, saying, "Oh, we don't hate no man. You know, the Most High hates him, right?" There he is snitching on Yahushua, man. You're a snitch. You know, the man's snitching. The man's snitching. Yahushua, Judas right there, was him. He said it. I don't think he give me presents, right? Ecclesiastes 7:7 says what? Surely a person makes a wise man mad, which we are, because we're wise through the scriptures. But a gift spoileth the heart. Because at one point, Nate was on it, right? He broke the names down, right? He was in the spirit on fire. Yahweh! Now he's like, Most High Christ bless, and I hate when a nigga says Yahweh. You know, what happened, Nate?
Book of Deuteronomy, Book of Deuteronomy 23 verse 7. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother, and thou shalt not.
So the apostle Aramla brought this forth that word Edomite there would have been Assyrian.
Yeah, and if you have the strong concordance, right?
Gone.
You have the actual book, it goes into that. Or if you go on the blue leather book. But if you have the strong concordance, it goes even more deeper, because that word is supposed to be Syrian.
Gone.
It's not supposed to be Esau,
And that's why we have those Esau, you know, meddling with our book.
See, because this is it says is Edom, then it says Adamaya, then it says Edomite, then it says Syria on that. So it shows you that that's not talking about the Edomites. Right? So that means that you have to actually go into these root words. You can't just say that, oh. So it's like everyone has to do their own research.
Right.
You can't just say that, oh, that like you can't use that.
But it says principle and precepts. So showing a precept that gonna back that one up. You know? So
It's Deuteronomy chapter 26, verse 5. It says here, and thou shalt speak before Yahweh thy power. A Syrian ready to perish was my father, and he went down into Egypt and sojourned there with a few, and became there a nation, great, mighty, populous. Just adding to your point, it's just that's talking about how Jacob was really referred to as a Syrian, or our forefathers were as well, because Jacob, he lived in that area for about 20 years when you go into the history, right? So yes, we are referred to the Syrians. So he took that totally out of context when he was on camera. He didn't break that down right at all. But what he was supposed to say was that was a clerical error. That was in the scriptures. Not take that out of context and put it on Edomites. Yeah.
I got a quick reset. 1 Peter 4:11. Any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Yahweh. Any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Yahweh giveth, that Yahweh in all things may be glorified through Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Malachi 1 verse 1. The word sorry. So the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said the Lord. Yet you say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
And that's a two-thirds mindset, man. I'm gonna get mine, man. You can win the Lord, you know? No faith.
Yeah, I think that's that movie. It's gonna come out I think next year called The Book of Clarence. You know, which is just like a mockery, right? But it shows you, like it's showing you basically like who we are, right? So you know, so that's gonna I'm gonna watch it. You know, it's gonna come out next year.
But the book says every idle word. So you're just acting. It's okay. Well, I ain't. The most is an exact judgment. So you gotta be careful, man. So you might see it just as entertainment. The most I don't play those games, man. You know, some people in the world that you have laugh, and act, and they might say, "Oh, I don't play like that," right? Where do you think that person got that spirit from?
Look at Jay-Z, right? Like he has his song is like said that Jesus can't save you and all this shit. So it shows you where their head is at, man.
But Jesus can't save us, right?
No,
you know.
but the word is supposed to be
right.
like it's really supposed to be our shine. But it shows you that they're mocking the Lord.
What is the Lord doing? Right? So it's like
He's
spittle, exactly. He's like the heathens, man. Right?
I have loved you, said the Lord. Yet you say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, said the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau.
I gave the Israelites my commandments. Because the Lord don't give you the commandments, right, and teach you how to walk and how to be. Yeah, he hates you. That's what he's saying. I never gave you nothing. Because you're made to be in servitude, lesser than, lower than, base. That's what you're made for. So the Lord is about what? Choosing. Right? He's chosen a nation to himself. Right? So the Lord is about discrimination. Because discrimination is a word that means choice. Today I discriminate to wear my red shoes, I wear my blue shoes. I chose. All right? Discriminate. So the Most High discriminate the nations. He didn't choose no other nation but Israel, man. So the Most High is the highest, what the world will call bigot. Now he's a bigot. Okay. And
We're the private property of the Lord.
that's right.
His mountain and his heritage waste.
So it's government, man. Waste man thing this. Right? That's why everywhere you go in the world, it's crumbling. So bad that Edomite had to run to Africa and say, hey, you want to be friends now? You know, remember I gave them guns? You know, remember, you know? And these damn licky black fools, right? Are shaking hands and running the streets and put that and you know. All right, watch when he's stable. He's gonna turn that switch on you guys. If the Most allow it to go like how they think, you guys be in subjection like the Aldo, man. They don't like your black ass, man. You think Putin is gonna come to Russia and ban my Russian girls? Nope. It ain't happening, man. You know, they love you so much. You should give you guys visas and move out of Russia. Russia has a lot of space, man. A lot of technology. Bring you guys out there. He went to you guys. You know, bang some little homeless, you know, down trying to black. You know, you got a nice one too. You know, you got a nice big ass strong one. Now Putin ain't a punk. You know, Biden will have a heart attack and you know. But Putin, he still got some vigor in him. You know? Well,
hated Esau and laid his mountain and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
that's right, and that's speaking prophetically and parabolically for what's to come. This kingdom is going to be left for what? Doleful desert creatures, man. Serpents, lizards, spiders, you know, some vultures, right? Because things are going to happen, like, you know, all those creatures are gonna fight each other and kill a screw and kill another rat and leave it. The vulture's gotta eat.
Owls.
Owls, gonna live his days and fall in the sky. Eagles, right? The vulture's gonna eat them. So all these things still gonna go on here. But life as it is, like, well, you got a Popeyes over there. You got a Wendy. That's no more. You think the Lord made an earth to have Popeyes in abundance,
Wendy's.
right? And Wendy's in abundance, and Snickers. Right? It shows you, like if you just apply your mind and see what's going on, the Lord, didn't have this bum ass Edomite in his bike, noise pollution. The chariots, like when we see the Lord's chariots, they don't make no noise. Right? You know, chariot, You ever saw some loud ass old car, man? To him that sounds good. Noise pollution. That's also many decibels that make you go deaf. So the kingdom of come, man, is the righteous one with peace, quiet, righteousness, right? Sounds like gibberish to these people, but they don't want that. They're good. It's nice outside. Put my short shorts on and my short shirt, right? And get some weed and some coke and some fentanyl, right? And let's go sleep with somebody's wife. Or have a threesome with those three hot guys, right? Yeah, that's and these are nations like these Asian women. Like I was watching a martial arts movie it was 4 years ago, right? So 80 something, and it was rocks, and putting that what they call it thing we get right in the back of it and pull you. Like that was their Uber. That's their Uber back then. The Uber. But now they like developed and the women are sluts now. It's out there. Short shorts. Cleavage, and they think that's how a woman should dress. Cleavage out, ass cheeks out. No shame, man.
Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
And they did that, right? That's one thing. The so-called white man, he gets shit done, right? He gets shit done. So again, we're not saying he's not doing what he's supposed to because it's not outside this book, right? It's prophesied for him to act how he's acting. A character has to have characteristics, okay? And Esau is just showing, like it says, if not who and where is he? Remember Job 9:24? So we're bringing forth the characteristics of the wicked. All right. We're building still on Job 9:24, and the Most High is being again facetious. Right? If he ain't wicked, then who then? Right? And everywhere you look, like yeah, you got me. You got me again, the most. Yahweh got me. The Most High, man, it's him. All right.
Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
John 10:10 said, a thief cometh not but to kill and destroy them. And kill and destroy. And that's Esau. When he came back into power, what do? Steal, thief, kill, destroy, murder. See, it was set to do that. And that's why he's a thief.
He's a crimson,
right?
crimson man.
He came and took what Jacob was doing. Hey, Jacob's people, we keep saying our people and whores and them niggas were wicked, man. Them niggas,
Nicaea, like all those niggas.
Wicked. All them churches talking about the white men started churches and if a slave master was that wasn't what it is. It's them niggas started it, man. Fun. And infighting, like the Spanish fighting against the French, right? And a lot of them were Jakes. Jakes were the Franks because they were a Germanic tribe, right? That came in that land and it's called it France.
And the Gauls.
Gone. But Esau would make movies showing his depiction and how he wants it to be portrayed as so-called whites. Keep it, man, because he'll be proud of it anyways.
That's why the scripture says there's no difference between barbarian and this and that. Right when it's going into that because we hated on each other.
Gone.
The barbarians used to come in and kill used to come and kill the English, they used to
Done.
come and kill this and kill that.
Done.
But they hated them as well, because they looked down upon them because they were pagans.
Gone.
Yeah, but the people in the churches, they weren't any better either, because they were worshiping the damn sun.
Gone.
You weren't no better than the guy who's doing blood sacrifice.
That's right. Idol worshiping. You know? So we're not big enough Moors. We're free men on the land and you don't have a license to drive. Hey, listen, man. Pull that shit on the right Edomite, what happens to you? Pull that shit on the right Edomite, that wife just cheated him with a nigga. Put his boots up your ass, man, boy, I'm a free man on the land. You ain't free nothing, man. You're a slave. Baruch 4 and 4, read it. But Baruch 4 in the Apocrypha, right? Baruch 2 and 30 tells you that the mindset you should have, right? Talking about them, I'm a free man of the land, I'm a sovereign citizen. No, you're not. You're sent here to serve slavery, man.
Romans 13 and 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Are you a soul? Are you living? Are you walking around? Are you asked to pay tax? Do you wear shoes? Do you have bad breath? Do you go to barbers? Do you eat ice cream? Read.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there is no power but of the heavenly Father.
That's right. So nothing can happen unless the Most High sanction it, man. Everything is in this book, right? Oh, that's Bible days. You're living in Bible days, idiot.
The powers that be ordained. Sorry, it says, for there is no power but of Yahweh, the power that is ordained by Yahweh.
Hey, that word God that we use all the time, we use it because like it's just for clarity's sake and we don't cause confusion. The word goes back to power, man, judge. So every power you see, right? The Most High, right? The reason why we're downtrodden and because our power left us, right? That's our power. That's why we're where we are. Okay? You people have a different power, but still the Most High controlling it. He controls all the powers, man. But he has to give you idols to worship. You think you cut a tree down by yourself outside the Most High, put a spirit in it to worship a tree? He doesn't like you.
Yeah, but you're still giving reverence to the Most High.
God.
You just don't do
God.
it.
God.
You just gave the Most High another name.
God.
If you give reverence to the Son, if you give reverence to the Son, you give reverence to the Heavenly Father.
Whoso therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the power, and that they that resist shall receive to them damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which
That
is
evil
good.
that he's talking about is called breaking the law. The good works is doing whatever he tells you to do. And the bad works or the terror comes when you break the law. So if you break the law, there's a judgment for that.
Right.
Whatever that law is. Now the Most High never told you to take the thing in your arm. Now that you can resist. You resist that. Go ahead.
For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same.
That's right. So, I was going through like the other brothers, have camps that they watch too, that they watch, right? And certain brothers, like the more eloquent orators, right? They put their words better. They go, I like what this brother, man, and it resonates. Not saying what other brothers saying is not right, but it's just how his flow is. It's different. But as long as the brother is praising Heavenly Father, right, in righteousness, and he's being true, that brother is a brother, man. All right.
It says, for he that is the minister of the power to thee, for he that is the minister of the power to thee for good, but if thou do not that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he For he is the minister of Yahweh.
That's right. So the Most High have him on the clock as well, man. He punches a clock. He's not doing things outside what the Heavenly Father has ordained. Okay, the so-called white man is just the Most High's left hand, and it's basically set up to put hell on you, right? The Most High's use him for now, but eventually the Most High's send his son back, right, to bring judgment, right, by the way of nuclear fire. Okay. Let me get this real quick. How about mentioned something earlier on about it is the Most High you should be worshiping, no matter what it is you're doing. So this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1. Surely, vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and could not out of the good things that are seen know him. That is, neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster. Right? So you worship the sun, oh great sun, or oh great moon. You know what I mean? We're telling you, man, as a creator, it's a creation. We worship the creator, not us men here. All right, verse 2. But deemed either fire, or wind, or swift air, or the circle of the stars, or the violent water.
And it's so easy to do because when you're a kid, they tell you to look under your pillow that, oh, you got money from the tooth fairy. They tell you. So how easy is it to create a power?
Done.
It's easy to create a power to say, oh, I'm going to give reverence to that thing, right? Or anything good that happens for you, you're going to put it towards whatever that is. Some people walk around with beads, so if something good happens to them, they're going to squeeze their beads a little bit tighter, right? Whatever it is. Somebody might see a damn black cat run across the street, and then their life goes. Oh, I broke a glass last week. That's why my life got fucked up this week, because I broke the glass.
Throw the salt over the shoulder.
That's right, and that came from that artist, Leonardo. He was an artist.
Yeah,
he's the one that created the Last Supper image, the image of the Last Supper. And in that image, the salt spilled within that image, and then that's where people got it, because that's where Judas was going to betray Jesus, so to speak.
To be the gods, small g, which govern the world.
Yeah, that's right. Like the East Indians. The East Indians have a time of lights where they fire fireworks and they do all type of shit. It goes back to just the lights, man. Right? Where they just worship light. That's the same thing with the sun. Right? The sun is a great light, and it gives power. It gives power to the trees. It gives power to your plants, to people. So people worship that, man. Right? And the longer they are without the light, we're coming up to the time without light. It's called winter, right? And in the winter time, the light is not there. So that's why they call it a dead time. So people pray to the light. When that light comes back, you see things start to grow. So they say, oh, that's God. Go ahead.
Verse 3 of Wisdom of Solomon, verse chapter 13. With whose beauty, if they being delighted, took them to be gods. Let them know how much better Yahweh, the power of them is.
Hey, like when you go to Niagara Falls, right? Niagara Falls is beautiful. Niagara Falls is powerful. But the Most High created that. That's nothing. That's not even a hard work. Right? That's something simple to the Most High. But a lot of people worship that. You'd be surprised, man. That's right.
All right. So the Lord's going to get rid of something that He created that's beautiful, man. He's going to make another wonders on the earth. Right?
That's right.
You know?
For the first author of beauty has created them. Verse 4. But if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier He is that made them.
Exactly.
Baruch 6, verse 12. Yet cannot these gods save themselves from rust and moth, though they be covered with purple raiment, and wipe their faces because of the dust of the temple, when there is much upon them. And he that cannot put to death one that offendeth him holdeth a scepter, as though he were a judge of the country. He hath also in his right hand a dagger and an axe, but cannot deliver himself from war and thieves, whereby they are known not to be gods. Therefore, fear them not.
That's right. These people they're worshiping in idols, okay, these false gods that can't breathe. All right, they don't speak, they don't talk, and they're not going to deliver you in the last days, man. All right. So, I think it's in Isaiah 47. Witchcraft, yeah, you know what I mean? So you get that from, you know, because you people, man, you really trust in these wicked ass satanic, you know, ideologies, man. You don't give no credit to the Heavenly Father, man. And we live in a world where they disregard the Most High, man. You know, you start bringing up scriptures or talking about God and the Bible in this world, they're looking down on you, man. They think you don't have no knowledge whatsoever, man. Oh, like the brother said, those are Bible days. You know what I mean? They think that's some archaic thing, man. You know, not understanding the Most High is a true living power, man, and His works are being manifested day in and day out, man. All right, the Most High is manifested spirit. Brothers will be saying something, right, according to the scripture, and He'll make it manifest right in front of your eyes, man. All right, that's spiritual power right there. Only the men of the Lord can perceive these things. Okay. All right.
Isaiah 47, verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorcery.
Right? You got these heathens, right? They have their false gods on their cars, right? They have their little shrines, okay? And they think they're actually being blessed. All right? The Most High set them up. They have their businesses and whatnot, and they really think that they're winning, man. All right? All because they have their little god on top of the car. They have it dangling on the mirror for their cars and stuff like that. Because we're driving, we see these heathenistic emblems all the time, man. You know? And that's actually putting curses on Jake. Jake don't even know that, man. We're walking to these people's establishments. We're going to the Chinese restaurant, you see the Buddha. Okay? You're walking into the East Indian restaurant, you see whatever god they worship. They have a god for every day of the week, sure, right? And that's
All pictures.
Yeah, no pictures, man.
Keep going, keep going.
Yeah, Kai. And that's actually putting spells on Jake, man. All right? Go ahead.
Wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail.
That's right. And the only reason why you people thought you were prevailing was because of the Most High, man. He set you up and put you in position where you actually put trust into these false gods, man. All right? But there's going to come a time where you're going to pray unto these idols. You're going to pray unto these deities. All right? The things that you've created with hands. All right? And it's not going to help you anymore, man. Esau, Edom, your blood sacrifices are not going to work.
Exactly.
You know, you're talking to these demons. They're going to turn on you. All right? Then what are you going to do in that day, man? How are you going to protect yourself against the Heavenly Father that created everything, man? All right? He created the left and the right, man. He's in control of these demons, man. All right? He's in control of who you worship, Baphomet, man.
Exactly.
Baphomet's going to turn on you.
That's right.
All right? The spirit of Baphomet is going to turn on this place,
right.
man.
That's right.
Because it's actually a destructive force, man. It brings forth death, man.
That's exactly what it
There's
does.
no life in Baphomet, man.
That's exactly what it does.
So all you people are going to die anyways, man. All right? Go ahead.
Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsel. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up.
Everywhere you look, man. I've said this before, but everywhere you look on the corner, man, you're going to see divinators, man. People talking about get your palm read. All right? Palm readers and all these people, man. All All right, that's big business in this place. These people are making money, man.
Hey, them East Indians are walking around now. They
right.
come into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hood. Hey,
And
you want to read your
yeah,
book?
they're giving you the
They
card.
walk around now.
They're giving you
They're
the
on
business
foot.
card.
You're lucky, man.
No.
You're lucky, man.
Wait, what?
It's right in the hood. Yeah,
Right.
in the hood.
And they know to go to Jake too, man. They know to go to these people here, man. Because they're the most downtrodden on the earth, man. All right? They make big business off of these people on the sign here. Yet they don't want to pay no respect, reward them, man. But guess what? The Heavenly Father's going to reward us, man. The elect. All right? Starting with the elect of the nation of Israel, man. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all right, are the ones that these people look down on, man. Okay? They have bywords for you, man. Right? Only the Heavenly Father is going to be able to lift you up, man. And put you in position again. All right,
and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame.
Hey, like the mother goddess, right? Like nowadays you have a lot of women. They pray to the mother goddess or they worship the mother goddess, whichever one she is. Venus, Aphrodite, whichever one she is. But the only reason why your mother goddess worship is working is because this society allows it. So there's not really any power in your mother goddess. You just have a so-called white man that's uplifting you women right now. That's all. So your real power is Esau. It's not no mother goddess. It's fake.
There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee.
That's right. So even all you heathens, man, you're gonna back out, retreat out of this land, man, because your witchcraft, it's not gonna even be working over here anymore, man. So you're gonna retreat, go back to your homeland, all right? Try to power up, all right? Because this place is dwindling, man. The spirit of Egypt is going down, man. That birth spirit, man. Or you people don't even know what's going on, man. America might go into a government shutdown, all right? Fine, man. Right, but it's just a precursor for what's to really come, man. Because that country's really gonna be shut down, man. It's gonna be all out chaos in the streets, all right? Race wars, civil war, civil unrest. Okay, people turning on each other. You think when you go out into your day to day, you walk into the office, good morning, good, you know, you're at work, you're being all cordial. That shit's all fake, man. Okay. What happens on Black Friday, especially in Babylon, America, man? Everybody's fighting for the TV. Okay, there's no love in the air, man. Even around Christmas time, man. Everybody's trying to grab all the toys for their kids. They're not worried about your kids. Everybody's in a selfish state of mind, man. What's that thing they have on the 24th? I think it's mad. They extend the hours of the shopping. Midnight Madness. Or whatever, so you can get the last of the toys, scrape it up, and offer it up as a sacrifice, man. And that's all it is, man. That gift is a sacrifice. You're sacrificing your children on Christmas Day, man. Okay, putting curses upon them, man. So it's free game. The Most High might take them out. The car might hit them, man. All right, the Most High, you sanction that hit, man. It's your fault as a parent, man.
The Christmas tree catches a fire.
That's right. The house burns down.
The whole house burns down.
Right? But you were worshiping so-called Jesus and God's day and blah, 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 right? The Lord sanctioned that house to burn down, man. Right? That was it on that, right? Go ahead,
Or your kid might swallow a toy piece.
Right,
Piece of the
right.
toy.
Because they
Might
have...
fucking swallow it.
Yeah, that's right. Because even on the toy boxes, it might say ages 3 and up or whatever, right?
Exactly.
And then your kid gets a hold of the wrong toy that's not suitable for them, right? And that's all the Heavenly Father's doing, man. Right? He created death and life, man. Right?
Look at Psalms 115 verse 1. It says, not unto us, O Yahweh, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory, for thy mercy and for thy truth's sake. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is now their power? But our power is in the heavens. He has done whatsoever he has pleased.
That's right. Our power is in the heavens, man. He's the one that's in the heavens looking down on us right now, man. Looking down on heathens, okay, and looking down. Okay, he's seeing all the works. Guess who reports to him? The angels, man. And the angels aren't no little white babies with wings, man, that are naked, man. That's a piece. This devil likes to push out to the society, man, to show you how perverse he is. Okay, he's not upright. Okay, you shouldn't be seeing wicked ass images like that, man. Let's put spirits on you. Go ahead.
Down verse 4. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of man's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not.
That's right. That's what I said, man. Their idols are silver and gold, man. They crafted these certain deities and made them into their gods, man. All right. They make shrines. They put it in their homes. They worship it. They bow down to it. All right. Something that cannot move. These are the things that they worship, man.
Yeah, they used to, because back in the day, because today we have what's known as action figures, but back then they used to craft little small idols, which was their gods. If you watch, what's it called? Gladiator. You had one of those little small figures. Those small figures of a god, they're missing, you know, and they can carry it around, right? Keep their god on them.
Right.
That's all that these action figures represent even today, man. Right? So whoever it is, you might have an idol in your home, which is your favorite artist, you know?
That's right. And the men of the Lord, we walk in the spirit, man. That's who protects us. We don't have a deity, a little action figure, all right? Something that's created by man's hand that protects us, man.
That's right.
We trust in the Lord.
That's right.
Okay? People can't see him, all right? But he doesn't want to make himself known unto you, man.
Hey, but that's why in the scriptures it says, "Oh, the Spirit of the Lord left him." So whichever righteous man. So when the Spirit of the Lord is on you, you know you're protected, and then when the Spirit of the Lord is off of you, you know you're not protected. That's how it works. It's not no fucking action figure. It's not no what's it called? Going to a wailing wall. You know, they go to the wailing wall and they wail and they do all kind of friggin' madness. It's not about that.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 9. Verse 10. But miserable are they, and in dead things is their hope, who called them gods.
Yeah, because the dead things really started all the way back in Nimrod. When you go back to Nimrod, it said Nimrod was a mighty hunter, but he was always a dead thing. And then what happened during that time? Somebody get Genesis 10 real quick. 10 or 11, whichever one it says where you split the languages. Quickly. And that's where the dead thing started.
Book of Genesis 11, verse 1.
Yep.
And the whole earth was of one language
Yep.
and of one speech.
Yeah, and what was happening during that time? What was that speech? That speech was the Hebrew. And what happened? All these people started to worship one man, giving praise to one man. Why? Because he took on all the attributes of the Savior. From who? From his father Ham. Right? Who taught him? His father Cush. Who was Nimrod's father? Cush. Who was Cush's father? Ham. That's where that madness started. It all goes back. But did their father Noah teach them the truth? Yes. He taught all three of them the truth. But that truth only went through who? Who did the truth go through? Did it go through Ham? It went through Shem. Shem was the one that kept the teaching of his father. The rest of the two, they perverted the teaching of their father. But it's going to tell you how. Go ahead.
And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, "Go to and let us make brick and burn them thoroughly." And they made brick for stone, and slime had they for pot, and slime had they for mortar.
So what is this telling you? What is that saying? What is that saying? That's saying that they went away from the teaching of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's what it's saying. Because what they're doing is not of the inspiration of Yahweh. They're not giving praise and worship to Yahweh. So what happened? They went away from the teaching. So that means they were worshiping idols. They were doing all types of abominations. They were eating abominations. Go ahead.
And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven.
Where did the Lord say to do that? Most High never said to do that. So that's completely in their mind. That's in their wicked brain to go and do this wickedness. Just like right now in this time, what are we doing to build that tower? Because what does this represent? This represents a new world order. The new world order goes all the way to back here. This is the new world order that they wanted. What's the new world order? All these nations, every nation coming together as one, right? And turning their backs on Yahweh. So what is that time now? What is that great thing that's being built? What is that, what do they call it in New York? The one that was broken down?
The Twin Towers?
Twin Towers.
What?
Twin Towers. World Trade Center?
World Trade Center, yeah. And now they named it One Tower or something like that. The new name, they rebuilt it after 9/11. One Tower. So what is that a representation of right now? That's a representation of the mark of the beast, man. All nations coming together. That's the new world order, go ahead.
Just to add on to your point, the shape of it is like a people.
That's right.
And guess how you're going to get injected with the MOTV?
Exactly.
They're
Exactly.
letting you know what their plan is right in front of you.
That's right.
They said,
That's a good point. Because a lot of people think that needle stops with what happened 2 years ago. That needle goes into the mark. Go ahead.
Go to, and they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven. Let us make a name. Let's be sorry. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth.
And how are we doing that today? We're doing that with things like GMO. GMOs is one of the ways to get away from judgment of the Lord. Because this place should already be in famine. Right? This place should already be destroyed, just like famine. The Most High had flooded this place. The Most High has given this place bad weather. Right? A couple years ago, it was cold. Like, there's a coldness lasting all the way to the spring. So fruits were bad. So how do we have a grocery store full of fruits? Those fruits are not real. Go ahead.
And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded.
Which is going to happen again now, right? Which is known as what? The second coming, right? So this time, the Lord is going to send His only begotten Son to come and judge this place for everything that's happening now that correlates to back then. Go ahead.
And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one,
Yeah.
and they have all one language.
Right? Which is why in Deuteronomy it says that the Most High separated the nations. Right? So is this righteous? No. Because the Most High separated the nations. Go ahead.
And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one,
Yeah.
and they have all one language.
Exactly. And guess what? What does that represent? Obviously, yes, the tongue, but it represents their thoughts. The rest of the heathens mixed in with Israel at that time. Israel wasn't around, but right, God's people, they were mixing in with the heathens, man, and the heathens were worshiping all type of madness. We don't want that. That's why He doesn't want us mingling, man, because then we're gonna worship what these other people worship, man. Just like this great metropolis, right? Like right across the street, that's what's happening. When you mix two different nations, you're gonna, what do they call it? Compromise. There's gonna be compromises. Like if I'm an Israelite, right, and you're gonna compromise with your woman, she might be like, okay, well I know you don't worship Halloween, but can you do Christmas? Okay, you can't do Christmas. Can you do Valentine's?
Compromise.
And just to appease her, you're gonna do one this or you're gonna do this. The Most High don't do no compromise. Go ahead.
And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this,
Which is what? Which is a melting pot, which represents all these great cities. All these great cities represent this oneness. The Lord don't deal with your oneness. Go ahead.
and this they begin to do.
Yeah?
And now,
Because we should be separate. Like when you see another nation of people, you see, oh, those are East Indians. Oh, those are Moabites. It's easy to tell. Cities, it's hard to tell who's who. You don't even know. What does the scripture say? The confusion of faces, man. It's confusion of faces. You don't know who's who. Right now we're judging people based upon skin complexion, and that's unlawful within itself. Because you might have an Israelite that looks like an Edomite. Go ahead.
and this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them,
So what did they begin to do? Turn their backs on the Most High. Keep going.
which they have imagined to do.
You hear that? Imagine. And that when you go into that word for the imaginations, it goes into devices. The devices that they come up with and all this wickedness. This is in their friggin' dirty ass imaginations, man. Go ahead. One of the imaginations is the MOTB. Go ahead.
Go to, let us go down.
One of their imaginations is what? Is pedophilia. One of their imaginations is for all of us. If you're a man, they're going to want you to be like a woman. If you're a woman, they want you to be like a man. That's the imagination of this sick place, man. For us to really be androgynous. Every one of us. They want all of us to be androgynous. When you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, and when you watch these type of shows, that's what they want. They want people exactly like that. In colorful clothing, men in long eyelashes. You might get breasts. You might still have your rye, right? Or you might have a woman. You know, like I seen one on the internet. It was a woman, but she has a chest. So she took her breast off. She has a chest.
I can add on that because it's so wicked with it. And they're playing the football commercial during like a sports game. You're watching the NBA game, and during the half whatever they have commercial breaks, and they're advertising that PS, right? And you could be watching the game for your children or something, and they're like, oh Dad, what's that? You see what I'm saying? Exactly. So they're putting spirits on everybody, right? Spells. No spells, man.
And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have
like a suggestive program. You know, that's the world we live in. We live in a world full of suggestive programs, to where they suggest so much that you people actually buy into it, right?
And the Lord said, behold, the people
trying to make us transparent, not see-through, transparent. Church committee, they keep talking about the ball, you know what I mean?
And the people said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go, let us, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
Right, and that's where the wickedness. Right, that's where that separation happened. So when you went into these different lands, they all worship that same idol, but they just gave it a different name, man. And that's what you people have all the way up till today in 2023. So you believe that your power is greater than our power just because it goes all the way back then. But all the way back then, your power was an idol. It's always been a friggin' idol. It never changed. You just went into East India, or you went into South Asia, and you called your god Vishnu or Krishna, and then you went over here and you called him Song Su or whatever the fucking mad name that you gave him, man. In your language, man. All representing the same power, man. In Egypt, they called him Ra, or they called him Osiris, and all this madness. But it's the same deity, man.
And the Lord scattered them abroad from the tents. And the Lord scattered them abroad from the tents, from the face of all the earth.
Right. So did the Lord scatter them and put everything back in order? No. He just scattered them with the same confusion. So they went around in the four corners of the earth with the confusion in those languages to go and teach people about either Nimrod, Cush, taught them about Eve, and all the great things that Eve did with the wickedness. And then that confusion and wickedness went across through the whole world, all the way up to today. And that's why they think that the Bible, oh, your Bible is came after. No, our Bible never came after. The scriptures is where the people got the way that they can confound or pervert the word. Because back then there was no Bible. We only had the word. It was passed down just by word. How did Noah give it to his sons? He gave it to his sons verbally. There was no Bible. So was the Bible back then? Yes. But it was there just the word. There was no book, but the word was there. Noah had the word. Adam had the word. It goes all the way back then, man. So can anyone predate the word? None. There's nothing that can predate the word. So all you Egyptologists talking about, oh, Osiris and Ra comes before the Bible. Yes, it comes before the book, but not the word.
In the beginning
Exactly.
was the word.
Exactly. Exactly.
So the Lord scattered them abroad from the tents upon all the earth, and they left out to build a city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth.
And that's what happened when we left that place. The earth was filled with Babel, with confusion. That's when the real confusion started. The real confusion started after. Because everybody went into their different place with their language, with the same God, just calling it something different, man. That's all that it was.
And from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and began Arphaxad.
I can read it out in chapter 13, verse 10. But miserable are they, and in dead things is their hope, who call them gods, which are the works of man's hand, gold and silver, to show art in, and resemblance of beasts, or a stone good for nothing.
That's right. You see, they worship a monkey god, all right, with 8 arms on it, some crazy shit like that, huh? Well, no. Worship cows, right? You know, something that the Most High created, man. They praise these things, man. You know?
The work of an ancient hand. Right, so they'll find something, right, and then you got like, tell us, look at that thing, man, and it looks like kind of weird, and said, oh, this is my good luck charm. Right? Verse 11. Now a carpenter that felleth timber, after he has sawn down a tree, meet for the purpose, and taken out of the bark skillfully, solemnly, and made a vessel thereof, fit for service of man's life. And after spending the refuse of his work to dress his meat, has filled himself, and taking the very refuse among those which serve to no use, being a crooked piece of wood, and full of nuts, has carved it diligently when he had nothing else to do, and formed it by the skill of his understanding.
Hey, like the Christmas tree. The reason why they love the Christmas tree so much is because it doesn't die during the winter. It's still green. So that's the reason why they reverence that tree. But should you give reverence to a tree just because it's still green? Madness, man.
And fashioned it to the image of a man. Verse 14. Or made it like some vile beast.
Hey, somebody get the story of Dagon. Somebody get the story of Dagon.
Like some vile beast, laying it red and covering every spot therein. And when he had made a convenient room for it, set it in a wall and made it fast with iron. For he provided for it that it might not fall, knowing that it was unable to help itself. For it is an image and has need of help.
Just like in Brazil, man, you have that big statue of so-called Jesus, man, which was really Caesar Borgia, man. You know how much times that thing gets hit up with lightning, man? Okay? And they took their time diligently to carve that that idol, man. You see what I'm saying? But guess what? The Most High is gonna destroy that, man.
Why would the Most High strike himself with lightning?
Right. Right. That doesn't make any sense, man.
You think you'd know the move?
Exactly. You know?
Should have ducked.
God, that's a shit. No? Brother, get a Dagon story?
Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Right,
First
right.
Samuel 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 1 Samuel chapter 5, verse 1. And the Philistines took the ark of the Most High and brought it from Ebenezer unto Ashdod. When the Philistines took the ark of the Most High, they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon. And when they of Ashdod arose early on the morrow, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the earth before the ark of the Most High. And they took Dagon and set him in his place again. And when they arose early on the morrow morning, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of Yahweh. And the head of Dagon and both the palms of his hands were cut off upon the threshold. Only the stump of Dagon was left to him. Therefore neither the priests of Dagon nor any that come into Dagon's house tread on the threshold of Dagon and Ashdod unto this day. But the hand of Yahweh was heavy upon them of Ashdod, and he destroyed them and smote them with emerods, even Ashdod and the coast thereof. And when the men of Ashdod saw that it was so, they said, the ark of the Most High of Israel shall not abide with us, for his hand is sore upon us, and upon Dagon our power. And they sent therefore and gathered all the lords of the Philistines unto them, and said, what shall we do with the ark of the Most High of Israel? And they answered, let the ark of the Most High of Israel be carried about unto Gath. And they carried the ark of the Most High of Israel about thither. Is that it?
No. Exodus. Right. Just, you know, Elder called it out, but basically going into you heathens, gods don't stand a chance against our power, man. True living power, Yahweh Shem Shai, man. He mocked your God, man. He destroyed it right in front of your face, man. Your priests couldn't do nothing about that, man. They had to witness it, they had to marvel and really understand that this is really truly a higher power than they got, man. Freaking fish god, man.
Hey, and if the Catholic Church was so intelligent, why do they still have that God today? Because the hat that the Pope wears, that's a hat of Dagon.
That's right.
So how could they be the people? How could they have any knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures if that's the God that they took onto themselves, man?
Right. And then you even have these idiots, they have the Dagon on their car, man. Alright? It says Jesus on it, but they have to show you the fish emblem on the back of their car.
Yeah, that's Dagon.
That's Dagon, man. You people don't even know you're putting curses upon yourself, man. Okay? You're thinking that it goes back to the story where Yahweh Shai multiplied the fish, man. You know? You know not what you worship, man.
That's right.
You know?
Exodus? Right. Exodus 32 and 1. And when the Lord and when the people saw that Moses and when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mountain, so the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto them, and so the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto them, up, make us go and make us gods which shall go before us, for this Moses, this man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him.
Right. So our people, you know, we're not above this these heathenistic ways, man. Okay? Because guess what? We were just coming out of Egypt, man. Learning the ways of Egypt. You know? I'm learning about the gods that they worship.
For 400 years.
Right. So it was embedded in them to have to worship something, man, to be so-called blessed. All right, working under the hammer of Egypt, right? Egypt still had to provide them a place to live, food, rain, right? Just like now, man, in America, in Babylon, okay? You go to work, you make money, you pay your bills, you're able to provide a certain lifestyle for your people, man, okay? So then you end up worshiping that lifestyle, man.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the same thing that happened with our people, the Israelites, at that time, man. Okay, so they were in a heathenistic mindset of wanting to worship gods that couldn't move, that couldn't do nothing, man.
Right.
Weren't made by hands of gold, man.
That's right.
I mean, silver and gold, Slakia. Go ahead.
And Aaron said unto them, break off the golden.
That's why it's so hard to get our people out of this American mindset now, man. Because they've been embedded in this place for over 400 years as well, man. Trusting in Egypt, man. Again, the spirits of Egypt all over again, man. We're telling our people to come out of her, man. The Most High is going to destroy this place, man. Or he's going to melt this place, man. With the foundation thereof. Our people can't see it though, man.
That's right.
You know, they're blinded by the light, man, for real. We still have some heavy witchcraft on our people, man, and really the whole world.
They clone Tyrone.
Right? A nigga will watch that movie and still go on and be Tyrone, man. You think that movie really did anything, man?
So, and that's just actual, it's real, man.
That's right, man.
100%.
That's right.
And Aaron said unto them, break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, and of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me.
Wearing earrings is okay, man. You're allowed to wear earrings, you know? Let people walk down saying you can't wear earrings. Alright, that was actually a custom that the Israelites kept, man. Go ahead.
And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in the ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them of their hand, and fashioned it with a graven tool, and received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graven tool, as he had made it, and after he made it a molten calf. And he said, the God of Israel, which brought us out of the land.
And that's how simple our people are, man. That's the point. That's how simple our people were, because here it is, the Most High miracles right in front of their eyes, man. Split the Red Sea. You see what I'm saying? Had the chariots fighting for them, man. Sparks and lightning and lasers being blasted onto the enemies of Egypt, man. Okay? The Most High flooded Pharaoh's armies. Alright? The plagues that he put upon Egypt, man. These are all the wonders of the Most High. And here it is, our people want to turn their back on the Most High and worship a calf, a golden calf. Alright? All because it shines. It's something that they can see. Man. Our people are simple, man. You know?
And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made a proclamation and said, tomorrow is a feast of the Lord. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. People sighed, and the people sat down to eat and to drink, and rose up to play. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people which thou brought out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 11. It says here, therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation, because in the creature of the Most High they are become an abomination, and stumbling blocks to the souls of men, and a snare to the feet of the unwise. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. For were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever.
That's right. Hold that. Because power, man. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. And all you heathens are gonna have to get down. Right? Our ways, our laws, that's it, man. It's not gonna be no democracy in the kingdom of heaven, man. It's gonna be a dictatorship, man. Dictatorship, man. Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to put our foot up your ass for 1,000 years, man. But that's just gonna get it ingrained in your head that you can't combat against us, man. Okay? We're gonna be gods among the people, man. Heathens, man. Because that's what you are, you're heathens, man. All brothers up here, we look down on the heathens, man. That's right. The same way you look down on us, man. Okay? We're not no simple ass Jake in the world, man. Jake wanna laugh and kiki with you. You know what I mean? We're not doing that, man. Alright? We hate you heathens the same way you hate us, man. That's righteous.
Verse 14, by the vainglory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to the end. For Father, jump down. Verse 16, thus in the process of time, an ungodly custom, grown strong, was kept as law.
Hey, that's why that movie, The Book of Clarence, is not really off, because it's vainglory. That's what he wanted, right? He wanted vainglory. That's what most people want. Most people use the scriptures to gain power. That's what every pastor is. Every single pastor represents glory, because then they'll tell you, oh, they've been inspired by the Heavenly Father. No, they're not. None of them are. There's not one church in the entire world that's inspired by the Heavenly Father. Not one. Not one. Because they're all teaching lies. How do we know? Because they're all backed by the Catholic Church. And if you're backed by the Catholic Church, that means that you're teaching lies. Because the Catholic Church teaches lies. Go ahead.
Okay. It says here, verse 16, thus in the process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as law.
That's all that it is. That's really and truly all that it is. It's just time. Time passes and more time passes, and then you pass it on to your son passes it on to his son, and it's kept like it's a law. That's all that it is, brother. Go ahead.
And graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings, whom men could not honor in presence because they dealt far off.
Hey, just like us, man. Just like us. In September, did you guys not do a Terry Fox run? Y'all running in school for Terry Fox? I had on my Terry Fox t-shirt. Y'all never had your Terry Fox t-shirt? I had to put mine on. Get free pizza. They gave free pizza. It was good times. But then you're giving reverence to a dead man. In God.
One God. Yeah.
1 foot man.
Yeah. Right.
It says they took the counterfeit of his visage from far and made an express image of a king whom they honored, to the end that by this, their forwardness, they might flatter him that was absent as if he were present. Also, the singular diligence of the artificer did help to set forward the ignorant to more superstition. For he peradventure, willing to please one in authority, forced all his skill to make the resemblance of the best fashion.
It's going to the natural man. You people are just natural beings, man. You're not spiritual. So you don't really understand when people pass away, they come back, man. After 3 or 4 generations. And no, deify them when they die, they become a god unto you, man. To where, that's it, man. No, man, these people are coming back through different times, man. Okay? It's not that deep. People are making shrines, you're making tattoos, cuttings on the flesh, right? Right, right? To deify these people, man.
Nipsey Hussle.
Man, they make murals, right? You go to the
They just brought him back again.
right? You go to Chicago Old Block, they got the King Von mural.
Yeah, King Von, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That guy is a homosexual.
That's right, man.
And a murderer.
That's right, man. So, and you people are deifying these, you're worshiping these people, man. You're putting curses upon yourself. What?
Okay. Verse 20. And so the multitude, allured by the grace of the work, took him now, which a little before was, and this was an occasion for men, calamity or tyranny, stones and stocks.
Book of Jeremiah, 23 verse 1. Woe unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep on my pasture, saith the Lord. Therefore, Thus saith the Lord power of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, saith the Lord. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all the countries whither I had
Hey,
driven them.
even in what's it called? Ragnar, the Vikings called Ragnar, the Vikings. Even in the Vikings, before they went to war, they would have certain people that would war. They would have certain people that would sacrifice themselves. And the way that they would sacrifice them was by telling them, you're going to be remembered forever. That's how a lot of these people are. Nipsey Hussle sacrificed himself. He already knew. Biggie knew he was going to die. Tupac knew he was going to die. These people prophesied their death, so to speak. It wasn't prophecy. None of it was prophecy. They knew they were going to die. They offered themselves up as a sacrifice. Why? That's how you live forever in the music industry, man.
P&B Rock.
P&B Rock?
He had a video, in one of his videos, he died in his video.
Yeah, con.
You see what I'm saying? So he knew he was doing.
Wisdom of Solomon 12 and for thine uncorruptible spirit is in all things. Therefore chasten them by, it says, therefore chasten thou them by little and little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance where they have offended, that they leave their wickedness, that they may believe on the Lord. For it was thy will.
It's as you said.
It said, therefore chasten them by little and little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance wherein they have offended.
Hey, that's why when certain holidays come around, brothers do videos on those holidays. Why? Because we got to put you into remembrance of what's righteous and what's unrighteous, man. Why? Because you people love these days. These days actually give our people a feeling, a sense. There's something in them, which means that that time of year has completely taken over their mind. It has taken over their being, man. Because the night before Christmas, you can't even friggin' sleep. You know why you can't sleep? Because a demon is on you, man. That's a demon. Exactly. And they're already picking out their outfits. The girls are getting ready to be hoes. The men them are getting ready to go fuck hoes. Like it just is what it is.
For it was thy will to destroy by the hand of our fathers both the old inhabitants of the Holy Land, whom thou hatest for doing the most odious work of witchcraft.
And that's all that it is. When you break it down, it's just witchcraft, man. You could nice it up. You could put a tweak on it. You could call it Halloween, but we know it's witchcraft. Right. You could call it Valentine's Day and say it's a day of love, but we know that it's witchcraft, right, which goes back to the witch's year of the wheel. You can Google it right now. Google witches wheel, and it's gonna show you the witches calendar, man, and how they worship, man, and the different days. One of them is May Day, May 1st, man. Right? Go ahead.
And wicked sacrifices.
And their wicked sacrifices, man. Because what comes with those days is sacrifices. If you people know or you don't know. It's either you know or you don't know. That's what it's always been about. You either have the knowledge of, which means that you are enlightened, or you're ignorant, which means that you're in darkness. That's it. That's it. And it could be on both sides. You could be enlightened on the left, you could be enlightened on the right. Go ahead.
Also, those merciless
the way that you became a god, right? The way that even Adam became a god is because they had knowledge of the right and the left, right? So the brothers back here, we are gods, small g. Go ahead.
Also, those merciless murderers of children and devourers of men's flesh.
Yeah, child sacrifice, which we talk about all the time. How much time do we come out here and we talk about child sacrifice, man? How much time do we tell you people about abortions? How much time do we tell you about what's it called? No. Adrenochrome. Go ahead.
So those merciless murderers of children.
Hey, like Disney. You know who's a merciless murderer of children? Disney. Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
All those things, all those places murder children. You go to Disney, they murder children. Nickelodeon murders children, man. And you're thinking to yourself, Disney loves the kids. What about McDonald's? Is McDonald's not a murderer of children? McDonald's murders children every single year. 50 cents.
Yeah, I done 50 cent murder. Yeah. Also, merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh.
That's right.
And the feast of blood.
And the feast of blood, because we're actually eating people. In McDonald's burgers, there's actually people in those burgers, man. Go ahead.
With their priests out of their, it says, with their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew.
And their priest is literally on the food. If we had food right now, you could see the COR. That's their priest. Is halal. No, that's a priest. That's a priest that played over it. Is he a priest of righteousness? No. So he's a fucking witch. Go ahead.
With the priests out of their midst.
What about the music? You have priests that pray over the music. Is he a priest of good? Go ahead.
Yeah, right now it's a new movement, like it's a full moon. Right
Yeah, it was a big one last night.
Their adulterous crew and the parents that kill souls destitute of health, that the land which thou esteem above all over that the land which thou esteemest above all other might
Yeah, that's known as child sacrifice. There was a case in Holland last week. I think it was Holland. I can't remember exactly what it was. But there was a dad. He impregnated his daughter. Like, his daughter's grown now. He impregnated her. Man. Right? And they just found him out now. They just found him out last week or 2 weeks ago, man. In this society, man. And the same thing with Darwin, right? The guy Darwin, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Darwin, it was, oh God, what's that thing? It wasn't Darwin. Fuck, it'll come back to me. I can't remember that dude's name.
It said that the land which thou esteemest above all others might receive a worthy colony of Yahweh's children. Nevertheless, even those spirits as men, and didst send wasps, forerunners of the host, to destroy them.
Yeah, that was
Daniel 1, verse 11, and it reads, Then said Daniel to Melzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, Prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. Then let our countenances be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat, and as thou seest, deal with thy servants. So he consented to them in his matter, and proved them 10 days. And at the end of 10 days, their countenances appeared fairer than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Thus Melzar took away the portion of their meat and the wine that they should drink, and gave them pulse. As for these 4 children, Yahweh gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. Now at the end of the 10 days, now at the end of the days that the king had said he should bring them in, then the prince of the eunuchs in before Nebuchadnezzar, and the king communed with them, and among them all was found none like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, Therefore stood they before the king, and in all matters of wisdom and understanding that the king acquired of them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers that were in all his realm. And Daniel continued even unto the first year of King Cyrus.
The account where they gave the idol. So they ate the idol. They ate the portion of his meat, the idol. And they were laying up. It was idol. It was the idol. It was the idol. Yeah. Okay, that's what I was. Oh, no. He wasn't gonna get it, but basically they had the food out for the god, for the deity, yeah. And then basically he said it was the priests that were eating the food and stuff like that. He got it in the family. Alright?
Okay, so this is Bel and the Dragon, chapter 1, verse. I'm going to start at 10. Now the priests of Bel were 310, beside their wives and children, and the king went with Daniel to the temple of Bel. So Bel's priest said, Lo, we go out, but go, O king, set on the meat, and make ready the wine, and shut the door, fast and seal it with thine own signet. And tomorrow when thou comest in, if thou findest not that Bel hath eaten it all up, he will suffer death, or else Daniel hath speaketh falsely against us. And they little regarded it, for under the table they had made a privy entrance, whereby they entered in continually and consumed those things. So when they were gone forth, the king set meat before Bel. Now Daniel had commanded his servants to bring ashes, and those they strewed throughout all the temple in the presence of the king alone. Then went they out and shut the door, and sealed it with the king's signet, and so departed. Now in the night came the priests with their wives and children, as they were wont to do, and did eat and drink of all. In the morning that time the king arose, and Daniel with them. And the king said, Daniel, are the seals whole? And he said, Yea, O king, they be whole. And as soon as he had opened the door, the king looked upon the table and cried with a loud voice, Great art thou, O Bel, and with thee is no deceit at all. Then laughed Daniel, and held the king that he should not go in, and said, Behold now, the pavement is marked well, whose footsteps are these? And the king said, I see the footsteps of men, women, and children. And then the king was angry.
So the point being that these heathens are so proud that they want to worship the things created by their hands, that they're actually offering up meat unto them, man. Food, things that men, humans use to sustain themselves, man. They're offering up these things unto fake idols, man. Things that can't move, things that can't breathe, okay? Yet they're worshiping it as if they created the heavens and the earth, man. Right?
Okay, verse 21. And took the priests with their wives and children, who showed him the privy doors, where they came in and consumed such things as were upon the table. Therefore the king slew them and delivered Bel into Daniel's power, who destroyed him and his temple. And in that same place there was a great dragon, which they of Babylon worshipped. And the king said unto Daniel, Wilt thou also say that this is of brass? Lo, he liveth, he eateth and drinketh. Thou canst not say that he is no living power. Therefore worship him. Then said Daniel unto the king, I will worship the Lord my power, for he is a living power.
That's right.
But give me leave, O king, and I shall slay this dragon without sword or staff. The king said, I give thee leave.
Cut him with the word, man. He just cut them, man. And he already proved that. Because that idol was not eating the food, man. Okay? He proved the king wrong, man. You know?
This book of Isaiah 44 verse 6, read it in the NIV. It says, this is what the Lord Yahweh says, Israel's king and redeemer. It says, Lord Yahweh Almighty, I am the first and I am the last. Apart from me, there is no power. Who then is like me? Let him let him proclaim it. Let him declare and lay out for me and what happened since I established my ancient people and what is yet to come. What is yet to come? Yeah, I was like, and what is yet to come? Yes, let them tell before. Let them foretell what they will come. Do not tremble. Do not be afraid. Did I not proclaim this and foretell it long ago? You are my witnesses. Is there any power besides me? No, there is no other rock. I know not any. Like I know not one. All who make idols are nothing, and the things they treasure are worthless. Those who speak up for them, those who would speak up for them are blind. They are ignorant to their own shame. It's basically going to like how there's only one power. Some persons are here originally. What is one? Which is like Shemaiah, Sharala, the higher way, how are high. You can charge you like you want just like you so much for done. 7 days. Not be condemned with your own spirit, knowing that you're going off. Right. The Heavenly Father, He's the one actually that has been able to match like the creation of all history. All the history, like it tells you, like how was the one that who was and who is and who will be. And that's from the Heavenly Father. And the same thing.
That's right.
In the hour, there's no power to actually claim that they are. Okay, there's no power to actually do things that the Most High has done. Okay?
That's right. Alpha, Omega, beginning and end, man.
That's right.
All right, so with that, we're going to close up. We're going to give all glory, praises, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Kakadash.
all right? We're going to say Shalom.
Shalom.
Kwame Yasharala.
Kwame Yasharala.
Abad Babal.